What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Shooting the Shift. That is a Matthew. That is a Milton.
Hello.
And that is Bryn, still stuck at work, having done many engineering things.
I'm not currently Bryn. This shell may look like Bryn, but there is nothing going on inside here.
So to avoid the need for any engineering questions, we're going to talk winter prep for your cars, because we're getting there. And it's probably time to do some. I'm doing some this weekend. I'm sorting out the arches on the stage here to make sure they don't get any crispier, we'll say. And just making sure that it's all alive after the disaster that was the water pump and alternator belt the other week.
If you drive it too far, you'll be alright.
I heard rumours that Matt's going to do some undersealing pretty soon as well, after he's checked whether or not he's killed an engine.
Potentially, yeah. Nicole's Mazda 2 needs a good going over because there's a few spots on that underneath and the arches are starting to go. And obviously the NC as well, just to protect that. Although if you're following me on Instagram, you'll see how actually ridiculously clean that is underneath. So there's not that much to do on it, really.
Which
You had it up on the ramps?
Yeah, I've had it up on the ramp and it's ridiculously clean.
Have you not heard, Milton? All he does in the evening now that he's got that lift is just puts a car on the lift, puts it up in the air, brings it back down, takes it out, puts another car on the lift, puts it back into the air. Like a kid with a shiny new Christmas present.
I wish it was that simple because it was a cheap ramp. It's not a low entry ramp. So you put a car in and then you have to spend about 20 minutes jacking it up so you can get the arms underneath to lift it.
That's because, like the rest of us, you have silly lowered cars, Matthew. If you had normal cars like a normal boy, then it'd be fine.
No. Even we had Dave over at the weekend with his girlfriend and we put the C1 in there, which, by the way, is the cleanest C1 I've ever seen. 10-year-old car, not a speck of rust underneath it, no leaks ever in its entire life.
Hang on, Bryn's got an idea.
We still had to lift the suspension by hand to get the arms underneath.
What I was going to say, Matt, is you need to do what Chris has done, which is he's built 4 little wooden ramps to get his car up. But the other thing you want to do, in my opinion, is put a pulley on the back wall of your garage that you can attach to a towing eye for a car that doesn't have an engine. So you can pulley it up onto the blocks if it doesn't have an engine. Just because we've had to do that and it was f***ing hateful.
Yeah, we had the discussion when we were pushing the RX-7 in the first time. It's like, yeah, let's attach a 12-volt winch to the floor. Then I can drag it as long as it's long as my whole drive. We'll just drag it up with that. And then I am planning on building some quite tall wooden ramps so everything can go straight in.
It needs to be steps ones though, because if it's too high, you won't be able to get the seal under. It needs to be as high as the side skirt, basically.
So anyway, thanks to that segue off topic.
Sorry.
That's not off topic.
It's kind of off topic. I don't know many of our... If you have a ramp at home, comment in the list right now. We'll see how many of the viewers have ramps at home.
I think people have access to ramps in units, like Chris does.
No, it's got to be
but not
at
many
your
people
house.
have them at home.
You've got to have it at your house. Really, what I really want to see is someone who's got one just outside with no shelter now.
I've seen them before. Yeah,
that's an American thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen them in the UK as well.
Absolutely. Anyway, I'll let that tangent carry on. So here's a broken Honda key. That needs fixing. That's a bit of winter prep. But the first kind of thing that brings us to is undersealing your car, right? So get in there with some good wire brushes, either on the tip of a drill, the fun wire brushes that are really aggressive. We'll get some hand brushes and give it a good, you're brushing.
The trick here is to take all of the old stuff off.
Make sure you wear goggles. Goggles.
Wear goggles.
Wear the normal sunglass goggles and then wear the big science goggles over there. And then wear the face shield goggles over there.
Yeah.
You will still get rust in your eye.
Then don't forget, get one of those NHS COVID things to just put over the top, and somehow it will get.
And then your welding mask goes over the top of that, and then you can start.
Which reminds me, that is something I haven't bought for this weekend's work on the stage yet.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm wearing my glasses again.
And put earphones in or earplugs because
especially if you're using the power tools.
It's not just for the noise, it's because I know this firsthand. I was working on the car and a bit of rust or stone fell out and it fell into my ear.
And
And
now
it-
You could do
now
that.
it just lives in there.
No, I had to go to the
You
hospital
can
and they
still
removed
hear
it.
crinkling.
It was the most painful thing I've ever had. It was touching my eardrum. It was awful.
Yeah,
So,
that'll do it.
so like undersealing is the most, I think, the most extreme end of winter prep. Like, there's a lot of work you need to do on that. You preferably want to get it up on a ramp. You don't particularly
I've
want to be.
never done it.
I do not.
You definitely want to get it up on a ramp because you will never see all of the places that need undersealing on the floor on your driveway. You just don't. I've done it before where I've gone to town on the bottom of the MX-5 and then taken it for its MOT and gone, oh my God, I missed half of it. Like,
Yeah.
you just can't see it when you're lying on your back on the floor trying to spray like this.
Under some axle stands. And Bryn's smaller than me. Like, my belly gets just stuck on stuff.
This is as far as I can underseal because I ate today.
Yeah, that's the one.
The thing I find is when you're under the car, you slide under like this, and you're like, I need my hands above my head, but I can't. There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, like, get stuck in with the wire brush, take any underseal that's on there off, underseal it. If you've just got an import that's fresh off the boat, definitely underseal it. If you have bought any kind of modern car, underseal
just
it.
cry now. No, just cry now. It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
Like, if you own a 350Z or worse yet, a 370Z, and you have not had it up to underseal, just don't. You will cry for hours when you see how rusty they are.
How old are they?
Not even that old. Chris's one must be like, what? They're less than 10 years old, surely. And it's
Yeah, I think so.
hideous.
Yeah.
That 370 is bad. But yeah, I've got another one that I'd like to offer as a bit of winter prep that you might not necessarily think.
Okay.
Check your coolant. Check the actual amount of coolant you've got in there. If if you just put in 50-50 premix, you're going to be fine. But if you mix concentrate and water, you might not have thought to check that. When I built the MX-5 engine, it was lovely and summery. Milton, you were around my house. We threw it in, and it was a lovely warm day. Somehow, winter has happened in the meantime. And
The last week.
Yeah, I realised yesterday when I scraped ice off my windscreen, I'm probably still running only about 10% antifreeze. So
Yeah,
just check.
it's a good point.
I don't know if I'm running any.
Because when we did Nicole, we changed the radiator on Nicole's NA. And while we were leak checking, I just put just tap water in it. It's like, check for leaks. I won't lose any coolant if there's a massive leak, and then I'll drain it and change it. And obviously, you'd forget about it.
It's working, really.
Yeah, but I did it at the weekend, and I dropped all the water out, and then it's got full pre-mixed coolant in it now. So
I've got a lot of premix ready to go into the rad in the Stagia because it's twice the size of the stock rad. I think the man at Halfords thought I'd lost my mind when I was walking by with 6 jugs of oat premix.
Oh my God.
So the MX-5 is not that bad. I think I put about 8 litres in.
Yeah.
8 litres of water in the MX-5.
Yeah,
But there is a big rad in it.
Stock, the Stagia is 6.
Yeah.
And a radiator is twice as thick. So.
But you've got 2 more pistons and shit, so.
Yeah. I think.
Is your turbo water cooled or oil?
I don't understand turbos, Matt. I don't
It's
make
both,
sense.
You've got to cool it with something.
The witchcraft.
If it's stock, it's probably oil.
It's both, isn't it? Water cool.
There's just a witchcraft thing that spins. All right, I'm from a bike racing family. Turbos are alien to me.
Turbos still on bikes?
No, we built NA classic Manx TT bikes. That's our thing, right? I do not understand the magical circle of doom that makes the Stagia go so quick.
And it makes it go quicker in winter.
Because it's colder, more dense air. Yeah,
Colder.
I understand that bit of it, but when you go like, how's it cooled? I'm like, I don't know, and I haven't learned yet because it's not the project that's currently active.
Bam, that needs to be a slap. Just with some icicles and a turbo with the word dense written in graffiti.
Okay, done. So after that thing, because they're not whooshes anymore. We've been calling them whooshy things forever, but we changed that about halfway through the year.
We're civilised now.
Yeah, it's like an 80s fast forward on a VHS. Brings back memories of my youth. These lot weren't born by then. So like after you've done your coolant, make sure that's antifreeze rather. The next thing that we get to is other things that freeze. So snow on your windscreen, that freezes. That's always a fun game. And
screen wash freezes good.
Screen wash freezes good. So de-icer, windshield cover, and Matt said this one to me: a snow brush.
Ah, yeah, they're well good.
I use cold water.
Yeah,
I use a brush.
I just gotta get 2 jugs of cold water, and then just pour it over the top of the windscreen. It all melts. Never use warm or hot water because it will explode your window.
Explode your radiator. Was that going to be?
But the brushes are on long handles, so you can clear all the snow off your roof.
Yeah, it's really, really handy. I highly rate a snow brush.
Your roof paint while you're at it.
No, if you're only brushing lightly.
Yeah, you're not.
Have you met me, Milton?
Yeah, you are ham-fisted.
Besides, we're talking about daily drives.
I am the lump upon which you lot call when you go.
A hammer.
I need something heavy to pull this here ratchet, so that it moves. When a breaker bar won't cut it, you just hang a bam off the end of the breaker bar, and away it goes.
But no, that is, to be fair, a very good tip on the cold water for the windscreens. It will make your life so much easier and quicker. Don't sit there waiting for it to de-ice. Just pour cool water over it and it'll all go away.
Make sure you do your headlights and tail lights as well.
You have to make sure your heater's on the inside of the car though, because otherwise you do that, you put your jug back inside, come back, start the car and it's frozen over again.
Oh yeah, definitely once you've finished pouring water on it, hit the wipers.
Yeah. And that'll wash it all off, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Rain-X or Fast Glass.
Yeah, the Rain-X do anti-fog as well for the inside.
So
anti-fog on the inside, yeah.
I'm going to have to say a thing here, actually. I have the most magical screen wash at the moment.
Is it cherry flavoured?
No, it's from Auto Bright, and it has, like, a hydrophobic coating in the screen wash. So every time I spray it on my windscreen, it's applying hydrophobic coating to the swept area, and the rain just runs off.
That's a good point, though. Actually, if you've got screen wash that won't freeze, just use your screen wash.
Yeah.
You don't need to go in the house and get some cool water. You've got cool water in your screen wash that won't freeze.
So the next step along the journey is you've got out of the house, you've de-iced the car, you've gone to start it, and your battery's dead.
That happens all the time.
So there's 2 scenarios in which this happens, right? So the first one I experienced last winter with the MX-5 because of COVID. I hadn't gone up to the workshop for a while, and the battery was the technical term is and I then went out and bought a Noco trickle charger for my cars that are in storage through winter.
Yeah, I think it's super important for anything you're going to store. Or even now, people working from home. If you know you're not going to drive your car all week, take the battery out, stick it on trickle charger all week.
Don't necessarily take your battery out, because some cars immobilizers will reset themselves without the battery.
It depends though, because the battery charger I've got nowhere really to put it, because it will sit outside basically.
That's why I like the Noco ones, because they've got really thin cables, so you can just get them through the seal and you're good.
Yeah, I've got a Halfords one. It's quite chunky, but those Noco ones are super small, so you probably took them inside your actual under the bonnet and close it.
Yeah, we'll bash some affiliate links to stuff that we recommend down in the description for you all.
And if you don't remember to charge your battery, you should get a battery jump pack.
Is there?
Next point.
Yeah,
I've got one of those.
You're about to go to work and your battery's dead, so you need a jump pack.
Yeah,
I've got one of those Noco ones. It's small. It's about this big. Yeah, and it will jump start.
So I've got one that looks like a power brick, and it's got 2 USB sockets on it, and then it's got my jump starter. And that's banging, because that gives you a couple of options. So if you break down in the snow and you need to charge your phone because you're not gone off battery and your car's not running, then you can charge off that. But also you can jump start the car. in an emergency
Yeah.
situation. So it covers,
So
it covers
speaking-
off 2 points of winter driver safety stuff.
One more thing on winter prep that you should have done: check your aux belts as well, because you may have jump started your car, but if your aux belt snaps, you're not going to charge it.
Matthew Graham.
He's not wrong.
Matthew Graham.
He's not wrong.
Matthew Graham, I will talk to your boss and have you fired in the morning for being a prick.
All right, but yeah,
He's not wrong.
but obviously
He's not wrong.
going through winter cold in the cold, your belts are going to be more brittle. So if they're already cracked and they're breaking already, they will snap.
I'd just
Actually,
I would just
I-
like
Hang
the,
on.
I'd just like the entire audience to notice that Matt no longer fears that from me, because his boss is just gonna go, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to actually carry on from Matt's point and say one of the most important things of winter prep is any job you've been putting off for a while, do it now,
Before
because
it's
the
done.
worst thing that can possibly happen is you need to do it on Christmas Eve. Because it'll happen. It's happened to me many times where I've needed to go somewhere for Christmas, and that is the day that the thing breaks.
Yeah.
The other thing is it's not that cold at the moment, and Christmas Eve it will be cold,
Yeah.
especially
like-
the simple jobs.
It's like 7 degrees out at the moment.
Yeah, but if your
Oh.
car says, I need a service in 400 miles, you're going to do 400 miles pretty soon. Do the service now.
It's my Insignia has been asking. It's been politely saying change oil soon for 3,600 miles.
But put it this way, Milton. When I checked the weather app earlier, it said currently I think 4 or 5 degrees. Feels like 1.
Yeah.
I am gonna be while we're doing the archwork on the stage here between licks of paint and filler and whatever needs to go on.
But
we are going to do an oil change on it because it needs one.
But you bring that up now. If you need to do paint on your arches, if it's that cold, it won't dry, and if it does dry, it's not going to dry well.
Yeah, we've
It'll
got
dry with moisture in it.
That's why we're doing it. That's why we're doing it in a workshop with heaty boys.
Yeah, so you'll be fine, but not everybody has access to workshops and garages and everything like Bryn's doing his in his dry.
Right, next point.
That's
Next
why my
point.
car's not painted.
In your boot of your car,
Yeah.
make sure to have, it's always good to have a first aid kit
Yeah.
and extra clothes, socks.
I put
Blanket.
blanket because then you can like get cushy like a little burrito.
Yeah, but
I tend to have gloves with me, mainly because when I'm scraping the window and brushing snow off, just putting gloves on just makes more sense.
I know we don't get much snow, but when you do it just seems to be an inconvenience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think the other thing that Milton's not mentioned there is actually the AA do like a little winter kit that has like a little spade and stuff in it. Like it's one of those little military spades, so you can pretend to be an army man while you're digging yourself out the
Or into a grave.
If you own a Jeep, you're probably going to strap it to the outside of your car.
Yeah, it's exactly that sort of spade.
Yeah.
But they're really good. I've got a couple of them in a few of the cars. And they're cheap. They're not bad price-wise for what they are.
Aluminum ones.
We're getting like, and Milton's right, like jacket, blanket, that kind of thing. I tend to keep a blanket, but that's because one of my cars turns into a bed, so you know.
Yeah.
But another thing I brought up was something. We put a kneeling pad in the affiliate links, but I think anything that you can kneel on, because it's winter, it's going to be wet. If you've got to look at the underside of your car, you don't really want to be getting wet clothes.
Yeah, make sure you pack a Milton in your boot.
Put it this way: if you don't put something in, you'll be in a suit on a way to a Christmas party when you need to change a tire or something and kneel on the floor.
Yeah. Boot like. Speaking of
That's
which,
Sod's law.
Matt
Make
has
sure
just said that as a man who's had to do that.
No, actually.
make
I've
sure
never
to
had to
get.
do that.
You can buy it on Amazon the extendable breaker bars. Because you get give in most cars if they've got a spare wheel, that is. Some of them
most of them don't have them anymore.
You get a little bar that's like this big, and the last tyre monkey that did it up was like.
I mean, Milton, that sounds like a feeble you problem. That's not something I've ever experienced.
I mean,
mate.
if you can undo the Insignia wheel with a breaker bar this big, you're a stronger man than me.
Next time we're together, Milton,
So
I will
everyone.
prove that I'm a stronger man than you.
Alright, I'm going to do one up extra tire just to prove a point.
It's that
Do you wanna
point
borrow
where he
my-
sees me put said little tiny bar on the nut and then just fucking stamp on it.
Yeah, I've done that plenty of times. Yeah, even just making sure you've got all the kit to change the wheel if you've got a spare.
And if not, that run flat foam. The other thing actually that I have found quite good to getting back onto the windscreen point is one of those windscreen covers, because it can serve two purposes. One, if you're camping, you can use it to cover the front windscreen. Yeah. And two, actually, you know, it kind of doesn't make things freeze. And you can just get the snow and you go, whoop, and you can throw it over the next door neighbour's car.
And you can wear it as a coat.
It's a cape.
If you really need to, you can wrap yourself in
You
it.
can pretend to be Superman with it.
Yeah.
What about putting cardboard over your radiator?
Yeah, if you've got a diesel, you might want to consider it.
But explain this, logic engineer brain.
Diesels are so thermally efficient that you can struggle with warming up in winter. Like my Passat and the Golf I had before that, if I'm stuck in traffic with the heaters on full because you're freezing, the temperature gauge will go down. And that's not a thermostat issue. They're able to cool with the heater alone. Also, if you block up all the grill and stuff with a bit of cardboard, the engine bay itself stays warmer and the car warms up more quickly.
Yeah, there's no airflow over it. So
And it's much more efficient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do have to be careful though and make sure that you don't go too extreme. On the other hand, I have been bombing down the motorway as it starts to get warmer again. And ooh, temperature gauge is going up. I've still got the front blocked off.
Yeah, I might do that. Just a sliver of cardboard, right?
One that I've always
pay attention.
One that I've always liked to have, just for the inside of my glove, right? You know, like you're broken down, you're going on the side of the road, you put your gloves on, and your hands have already caught the cold. Is those little hand warmer packets? That you just snap a couple of them off, put them in your glove, and your palms are cushy and warm while you're working.
Especially if you're poor enough not to have a heated steering wheel. Which
nobody has a heated steering wheel.
I like the way that Matthew Graham has just accused people without heated steering wheels as poor. I have 3 cars, Matt, and not a single one has a heated steering wheel.
Yeah, we've got 4 cars here. Not one of them's got a heated steering wheel.
No.
Oh right, are we saying we're all poor? Milton,
But I think we're talking like top
Hang
end
on a minute,
Range Rovers.
surely the GS has a heated steering wheel.
Nah, it's too old for that. The heated
Yeah, I think we're
adjustments.
talking modern top end Range Rovers that have seated steering wheels.
Seated steering whools? Is that what you just said?
No, it's a heated steering wheel.
Boys. You definitely did not, my friend.
Quick one for the sports fans. Is someone knocking somewhere?
No, I'm listening to fireworks.
Bonfire night.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Is
yet,
it?
it's not.
It's tomorrow.
I forgot about
But that
bonfire
means
night.
that it's the whole week. Why would anyone do it on a Thursday when it actually falls on a Friday? Oh god, tomorrow night's gonna be horrible. Anyway,
I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
tomorrow
off in the
it's
north of a foreign land in the middle of nowhere, so I'll be all right.
No,
By
it's
foreign
fine.
land, by a foreign land,
they
I
don't
mean
have fireworks in Wales.
no. I'm not even gonna be in Wales. I'm gonna be in Oswestry Street. I just call it Wales to annoy my mate that lives there.
Yeah, I'm going to try and sit on mute for a little bit while these fireworks go off because they're really irritating and probably loud for you guys.
They are quite irritating.
So the thing to not carry in your fireworks in winter is fireworks. Yeah.
One of those
carry-
little flares.
Torch.
Actually, do you know what?
Oh.
Not a bad shout. Honda do an LED version of the Japanese roadside flare.
Oh, that's quite cool.
I've got one in the Spike that I got from Tegawa.
That's
Shocking.
pretty cool.
If you look, my jump starter / battery pack has a torch built into it.
Yeah, same. But
That's
it's
good.
not, yeah.
I'm gonna
But a
upset.
flare would. Is
I'm gonna upset Milton now to further add to that.
it a HKS one?
No, it's not. But I will tomorrow be going down to Tegawa to pick up my Christmas presents from Japan.
It's just all of those LED flares, guys. He's bought like 100 of them.
It's not. It's the rest of the chassis bracing for the Spike.
Ah, even more important.
It's going to be the most stiffest slow car ever.
Hey guys, I can only do 20
It's
miles
got-
an hour. But wait, there's more. I've got back pain.
It's got loads of brakes in it, really fast now.
It's gonna look.
You
It'll
can do 20
corner.
miles an hour everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's going to weigh it down. You're going to go over a bit of like raised tree in the road because it's winter, and that's it. You're just going to stop dead.
So I'm going to solve this caveat here, boys. The L15 that's in that bay, apparently, You can get a supercharger for the Jazz.
I thought you were going to say lift kit.
No, but now
and it's not lowered, so it's not going to get stuck.
But now I do want to build an urban assault Honda Jazz with a lift kit.
It will just fall over.
Wait,
I'm certain.
I've actually seen one of those. I can find a picture later.
Remind me to talk about lift kits after the call.
Okay.
Oh dear.
He's bought one. He's going to do all of his drifting on a lift kit so that he can die.
No, I have another question about that too. So.
Okay, right, interesting. I think the other one that we flagged up is emergency chocolate.
Not just chocolate, just sweets.
No, specifically emergency chocolate. 100 grams of emergency chocolate, as instructed by the people who gave me lots and lots of mountaineering training whilst I was at school. 100 grams of emergency chocolate in case you get stuck out in the cold, because it'll give you enough calories to help raise your body temperature.
I do have, even though it's not winter, I have a bag of Haribo or the other sweets.
Mawam.
Yeah, why couldn't I say that? Yeah, I have them in my centre console. Because you ever been doing those long drives and you know you've only got half hour left, but you're driving along the way when you're getting tired. Couple of them sweets. I play a little game. You don't look at the wrapper. You just put it in your mouth, and then you got to guess the flavour, and it distracts your brain enough to not fall asleep.
Don't lie, Milton. We all know your centre console is just full of Werther's Originals.
No, that's the door pocket.
Also, I like your logic on keeping a pack in the car, but I can tell you that every journey would be a Haribo journey if I had Haribo in my car.
Yeah, you are a Haribo fiend
every time.
Kendall, another option that's very calorie dense to get back onto the sensible side of this topic is Kendall mint cake.
Yeah, the stuff that's 99% sugar.
Yep. But
it's a bar of sugar with mint flavour.
The two things that absolutely we taught people, and I was taught when I was being taught the mountaineering stuff, and latterly when I was in sixth form taught the mountaineering stuff, is Kendall mint cake or 100 grams of chocolate. They are both very good if you're stranded in the cold. At night, it'll help get you through the night.
Actually, I know
and a foil blanket will also help you get through a cold night.
Somebody I was at school with was diabetic, and he had the Lucozade glucose sweets. They work quite well because they're high. Basically, anything with high sugar content.
Boatloads of sugar.
Or get one of those 5-hour energy drinks, right?
Yeah. And then another thing that is another. I mean, it'll make you feel warmer, but you will not actually be warmer.
That's what's in my glove box. I'm not an alcoholic, by the way. It's in there for other reasons.
Bryn, for when he drinks and drives.
Bryn, I hate to tell you this, but the mullet says otherwise, mate.
Honestly, he's got a mullet. Every so often I open it and go, "Oh, there's gin in there. I should probably get rid of that. Close that."
Yeah, you're meant to be a closet.
It's set ready to go in the GS300, isn't it?
Ah.
I think the other side of that is actually it's getting dark earlier, and a lot of this stuff is going to be on your commute to work that it might occur. So if you don't have a torch in your car,
well, nowadays everyone's on their phone, but
it's a good but the thing is, if your phone's flat, you need a backup.
I have a head torch hidden in the spike, right, in one of its little compartments, and that's because I know that if I've got to do a job, I want my hands free to use tools, and I can see wherever I'm looking.
Yeah, you don't want to be stacking your expensive phone on the floor to try and line everything up.
Yeah, especially your brand new expensive phone that doesn't have a phone case, because no one could deliver a phone case, and you've gone 2 weeks without a phone case on it.
Yeah, no, it's a brand new phone. Nobody's invented a case for it yet.
No, there's I've ordered 3 cases, and not a single one's turned up yet.
Nicole's got 2.
I know she has. It's really annoying.
There's no screen protectors yet.
Just going to go Google the new Pixels out for anyone who's into phones with good cameras.
Good.
Tangent. So, one last thing, winter prep is tyres. Make sure you've got good tyres.
And
make sure they're inflated.
And
make sure you've got good tyres on the driven wheels if it's a front wheel drive car, and whatever crap you don't want on the back, because that's how you have fun in winter. Don't listen to that advice. You will literally die.
What? One more
that
thing.
is what I do.
One thing.
One more thing to pop in your car is a tyre inflator, whether it be electric or manual.
Actually, and another thing on the subject of tyres, another thing that me and Matt did discuss earlier was tyre socks or snow chains for if it's really, really bad. Not really a problem you have in the UK, but if you're in the Alps.
So if you're in northern Scotland in the mountainy bits of Scotland, you might need it.
But... Yeah, I forgot Brexit's a thing. No one can get to the Alps anymore. Yeah, if you're in northern Scotland or like somewhere where it proper snows, then that kind of thing can be an absolute lifesaver.
And remember, you don't have to floor it.
You don't have to floor it?
No, in the just drive to the conditions.
Yeah, make sure you've got.
Sure of us, but
make sure you've got a car with a low range gearbox and that's 4-wheel drive. So the spike is a solid investment right now.
This is where all of your cars come into play.
The Stagia doesn't.
4-wheel drive.
No, they're not. I don't remember I don't remember speaking to Bryn about 4-wheel drive converting the MX-5, but now you've given me an idea.
That's not a winter car. I do the opposite, by the way, of not flooring it in winter. I make sure that the first thing I do is floor it to find out when the wheels spin, so I have a good idea of how much grip's out there. Again, don't follow this advice.
That's actually really good.
Here's some advice, but don't follow it.
Yeah,
I do it all the time.
I would like to caveat it by saying that Bryn is not a professional driver in the snow, and therefore his advice is not legally binding. And if you do what he says and plough yourself into a lamppost, we are officially indemnifying ourselves from any claim by saying don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Bam, can I interrupt?
With what?
Buy some merch.
Yeah, go buy some merch. T-shirt. Quick, Matt, show off yours.
It's the same. I can show you the back, but it looks like that. That's the back. This is the front.
Go pick up some merch to support the channel.
So 1% discount on all products.
So that's
ending in 3 minutes.
There is, in fact, a 15% discount when you spend £20 on slaps. That's still running on the website, and I might find it in my heart to do some Black Friday stuff. Although, if I'm entirely honest with all you sports fans, given the year that COVID was, it's not going to be as big as normal. Because we have to recover some operating costs. It's small business life.
Also, buy some merch.
Buy some merch, yeah. Help keep Matt in red headphones.
His lift.
Yeah,
help us. Can use his lift.
Buy merch so that we can give Matt t-shirts so that he stays dressed on this podcast.
Or he will be knackered.
Yeah, the last thing, and if we know it's really bad for the business if I'm ever knackered on the podcast. So that's rounding off this episode. That's kind of stuff that we would recommend for winter prep for your car. There'll be some links down in the description to Amazon affiliate things that will also help the channel, help us out a bit. We have got coming up some interesting stuff.
I've got a big thing.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
You right. December 15th.
Okay.
Santa Pods.
Yeah.
There's just a miraculous bit of an MX-5 takeover.
Okay.
We've got about 32 drivers confirmed so far, but we apparently might have doubled that in the last few hours. So
that drift or drag?
Drift what you brung.
Drift what you brung.
Yeah, drift what you brung Wednesday, December the 15th.
Well, we'll see.
I'll be there doing passenger rides.
We'll see if someone can pick me up on their way down there. I don't think anyone can actually do that.
Nobody passes your house on the way down.
We're all south of you.
We'll see if anyone loves me enough to come fetch me.
If I've changed the diff by then you can come to my house and I'll give you a lift from my house.
That might work a little bit.
Unlikely, because the engine might be dead. So
it also might be too cold to stick the drone up, and really all I want to do is get drone footage of people drifting.
But that's it. Yeah, December 15th.
So
upcoming video of the health of my engine.
Yeah, yeah, that'll probably come out. So we have got Matt's build vlogs that ever presently, the current ones I have to edit still right now.
That's why my other SD card went.
Yeah, I've still got it.
I was looking for it the other day.
I'll give it back to Nicole when I'm done editing it.
Yeah, well, the show stuff comes first because that's what's happening right now. So
yeah, so you get some build vlogs out of us all through winter. The 22nd of November, we did our first... I've just stabbed myself in the hand with a tool.
That's not very smart.
That's all right. It was bound to be something that happened at some point in the podcast. I'll just hold it so it doesn't bleed too much. We will be on the 22nd. We will be live on Monday the 22nd because it's basically the podcast's birthday. We will have been doing this for a whole 52 weeks, even though it won't say episode 52 on it because we took some weeks off because of other stuff. I might have lied on this week's event video about it being the last show of the year. Maybe a Mims Christmas event that I'm currently working at, if we can put the drone up at and a couple of things to go and film that. And if I can fit it into the ever-present winter schedule for organising everything for next year. But we really appreciate everyone who stuck with us for the last 48 episodes of Four Dudes Chat Random Shit About Cars, also known as Shooting the Shift. And we want you to drop in the comments any questions you've got for us on the live episode, or tune in for the live episode and ask the questions in the chat, which will appear magically on the screen as we do it.
I want to know what everybody's favourite episode is. Because we've done, 48, 49?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of choice.
So, if you're not sure what your favourite episode is, go back and watch all of them and hit like on the ones you like.
Yeah,
and then
finish them all.
Yeah, and then for the live podcast, I will tell you which is our most liked video. So anyway, that's enough wrap up because we kind of waffled on for that as well. And I stabbed myself.
I still have to drive home in the winter.
It looks like it's snowing where you are. Why?
He's not even in a building. He's just in an igloo.
Yeah. There is a blizzard in Rugby right now.
Okay, right. So we're all going to let Bryn drive home from work. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome week. And we will catch you on the next episode of Shooting the Shift, which will be about a thing or something.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, the internet.